What's going on, everybody? We are back once again live. And today we're doing something a little bit different on the show. Normally, I come at you, we're breaking down an upcoming fight card. UFC 277 is the one on your mind, it's the one on the horizon. And I will be back on this channel breaking it down later today. However, I wanted to bring you something even more special. My man, Blake Perry. I tried to warn you guys last time. People didn't all want to hear me, but I know the people that watch this show cashed in on Blake Perry as a massive, massive underdog on Bellator Hawaii. I told you when most people find a way out, this man finds a way in. He did it once again, beats a highly touted prospect in his Bellator debut, and he's back to celebrate once again with the show. How you doing, Blake? What's going on, my friend?
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me. Always happy to be on.
Absolutely. Man, walk us through it. That fight that you had with Makoa Cooper, it could have been in the fight of the year discussion. I mean, he came out there, he brought a lot of energy, he brought a lot of intensity. That's kind of what we expect from him. And, you did a great job. You weathered the storm. You dealt with some adversity. You dealt with the fact that this guy was coming out there like a wild man. And I knew that when he started to engage with you on the ground, I was like, this is where we want the fight to take place. I think that was where your best opportunity to take over was going to be. And there it was. So walk us through that moment, what the fight was like for you, and tell us about your thoughts on the whole experience, man. Bellator MMA, huge way to make a debut.
Yeah, no, it was I was super fortunate to get the opportunity in general and go out to Hawaii again and fight in front of, so many people, and it was definitely a first for me, on that level of platform. It just made it kind of all full circle, going back to where I had my first fights to make my pro debut. Just kind of felt right, man. And yeah, the fight itself, it's kind of exactly what we had prepared for, honestly. Like, it's funny you use the term weathered the storm, because we actually did, my coach set up a drill a lot for that camp called Weathering the Storm, where I'd spin in a circle really fast and they'd have fresh people hop in on me, and to simulate if I was rocked or got, clipped with a big shot kind of thing, having to deal with that adversity. And yeah, dude, kind of worked out how we planned. Obviously it was a rough start, and prefer not to have rough starts, but when that opportunity comes, just hop on it. And sometimes fights aren't pretty, man. If it starts rough, just finish pretty. That's all that matters.
Hey, there you go. And you certainly did just that. That choke was very tight. I had a feeling it was wraps well before our man was ready to tap and get out of there, because of those long arms, too, man. And I felt like you make perfect use of your attributes, your skills. You got to go out there with what you have, and you got to put it to the best use. That's what a fight is. And at the end of the day, man, I'm just so glad to hear that it actually worked out according to plan. Weathering the storm was the right idea there. You were able to do it, and leads to some big opportunities. I know this week, my man, we're moving from Bellator, very big platform, to UFC Fightpass, my man, and should be an awesome show. I know that you're going to be on the Urijah Faber fight card coming up. Why don't you tell the people who you're going to be fighting and what they can look forward to?
Yeah, I'm fighting a pretty experienced dude. His name is Marcel McCain. Been fighting for a long time. I think it's been a while since he's had a fight, but yeah, he made his pro debut, I think probably 4 or 5 years back now. Yeah, I know he's from this area of California at least, and I'm ready to go out there and do my thing in Stockton. It's gonna be such a fun show. I'm kind of pumped too to be fighting on a promotion that's in its beginning stages. It's not like a super well-known promotion yet, but they've already got a fight pass deal, and it's getting streamed. I think they announced in like 194 countries, something like that. So that's pretty cool, man. Definitely can't beat that. So I'm excited for that. And then yeah, it's right in Stockton, California. So it's promoted by Urijah Faber, and if I'm not mistaken, I heard Nate Diaz is co-promoting. I'm not sure if that's still a thing, but it's right in his backyard. So it should be a cool event, man. Lots of cool people there, lots of talent, and yeah, like I said, I'm stoked to fight on a promotion that's picking up steam. It's kind of it's a cool feeling, man. And add another notch to the belt would be dope. Get a win on my Fight Pass debut, and onward and upward.
I love it, man. What I'm seeing right now is that number one, like you said, it's in Stockton, California. Where better for a Diaz brother to co-promote, but also got a lot of local California, regional talent on this fight card. Moses Marietta, he's a guy who's just fighting Ozzy Diaz in a recent bout. Ozzy Diaz was on the Contender Series last night. So I think that there's a lot of very talented California fighters who are going to be on here as well. So not just my man Blake Perry going to be holding it down, but I'm glad that you've got a local fight this time. They're not making you fly out to be, the opposite of the local fighter. But you had California roots, you got Hawaii roots, you got Ohio roots. My man's got roots all over the darn place. So tell me this. What's a fight that you'd like to have in terms of location next? You've done two of the best destinations so far in the U.S., Hawaii and California, back to back. Is there anywhere else that you have in mind in your heart of hearts that you'd like to get there and fight?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think so. I mean, I always love fighting in Hawaii. And anytime they want me to come back, I'm more than happy to hop out there. And then obviously right here in California, there's countless promotions because one, California is so freaking big, and then it's kind of a MMA hotspot. I've been pretty blessed with kind of like you said, the roots. I've had roots in I think three of the toughest areas for MMA. You got Ohio, that's got that whole area. All the East Coast. New York, Jersey, Ohio, all those badass wrestlers. You're not going to get any better wrestling than the fighters in Ohio. And then you got the striking and all that in Hawaii. And then California is kind of a mix. Lots of real good jiu-jitsu out here. Lots of pretty well-rounded guys. But to answer your question, obviously I would love to fight in Hawaii and California anytime again. And before I'm done, I have to fight. I would have to fight in Cleveland, man. I got to do it at least once.
I'll be rolling through with the whole team when that happens, my man.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
What I'm seeing too about your opponent, my man, is that Marcel had a lot of amateur experience before he took a pro fight and hasn't taken a pro fight since. So I think that really we've got a virtual unknown here on the other side where, he could have been putting in 5 years of really hard training. He could have walked away for 2 years, come back and found out he still got the love for it. So I think that we've got a great unknown for you to be taking on here, my man. But once again, a very winnable fight. So in terms of your approach for this fight, I know last time you said a lot of thought went into weathering the storm. Do you kind of have anything in terms of, I know you don't want to give away your game plan, but anything that you've approached the fight with in terms of a focus for your preparation?
Yeah, I think honestly, in a weird way, I prefer fighting more well-rounded fighters. I know that sounds almost like counterintuitive, but in a weird way, I think that lets you focus more on your game plan. If they're solid everywhere, you don't have to, focus like, if I'm fighting a black belt, that's a whole thing to think of. Like, yeah, I really want to focus striking and wrestling, but if it gets to the ground, I really want to avoid that. Or if I'm fighting some, world champ kickboxer who got into MMA, thinking I have to get to the ground, I have to, But when you're fighting just kind of a well-rounded MMA fighter, I think it's kind of nice. It's freeing in a way to know that they're kind of dangerous everywhere, and that's how Marcel is. He's finished fights I've seen on the ground, seen hit a couple slick arm bars and stuff. Pretty solid wrestling too from the fights I've seen. He's definitely a top pressure guy. Lots of takedowns, lots of that grinding top pressure, and his striking looks pretty tight as well. So I think he's real well rounded, and I like to think I am too. So I think it'll be a good one, man. So I've just been focusing a lot on this fight. Almost not even a ton of like real pinpoint game plan stuff, as opposed to just making it my fight. Focusing all on my game plan, what I want to do, where I need work. Because I know, after the last fight, it was cool to get the win and everything, but to be completely blunt, I wasn't happy with my performance. It's kind of, a lot of it was getting my butt kicked and then, having to come back, and which is cool and all, but if I can avoid having to do some comeback at the end, that would be dope. Keep my face a little more intact is always nice. So yeah, like it was cool to get that win, and it was awesome, the feedback and kind of everyone, it was an amazing feeling, don't get me wrong, but To be completely honest, rewatching the fight, I wasn't super happy with it. So it was good to have something to know where I need to work. And this fight forward, you know, I'm really just focusing on myself, just kind of being, you know, a pretty self-centered asshole, you know, just really worrying about me always, and what I want to do is all about me.
Dude, I think that you're onto it though, which is, you know, taking the initiative early. In that fight, they talk about a lot of my favorite MMA trainers, like who has the pack, right? If somebody puts it down, somebody else can pick it up. He put it down for just a second, you picked it right up and ran away from him. But I do think there's nothing wrong with getting on that initiative early. Did want to just shout out my man in the chat, Track Bray. He's traded for the Olympics in track and field, absolute beast. And he was wondering, what does your training schedule look like?
Oh, that's awesome, man. So usually, you know, because unfortunately, I have a full-time job too. I wish I could just fight full-time, and that's the goal, and I'm gonna get there. But for the time being, I got a full-time job now. So kind of what I've been doing is during my lunch breaks, and I'll work out time during the day to get lifts in and my conditioning and all that, and just kind of on my own. And then every night at the gym, I'll right about between 2 to 3 hours of obviously MMA training. But yeah, just getting it in when I can, man.
Beast, the working man's dream.
Yes, sir. But yeah, pretty standard. You know, nothing too crazy. Like 4 times a day, nothing. You know, I find that the two a days I'm doing right now. The one, just like I said, on my own. You know, the strength and conditioning more aspect of it, I know I can do that on my own. You know, I know what I need to do there, and then getting with all my coaches and teammates tonight and getting after it in the gym.
I love it, man. And my man MMA Locker Room says, did you bet on yourself for that Bellator fight that you had? I know that the odds were crazy. We tried to tell people on this show that they were wilding out, and the line kept blowing up. It got as high as plus 900. I know that it closed lower. It got back down to plus 750 and these things. Some people must have watched the show, but my man, did you bet on yourself at those big numbers?
No, I didn't, but that would have been gangster as fuck, dude. If I just bet on myself for a fight, that would have been cool. But I didn't, unfortunately. But I had a lot of buddies hitting me up like before and after, like, yo, I put money down, and then after, like, let's go.
So you shipped the bag. You absolutely shipped the bag for the boys. Dude, can I tell you the truth? When I watched that fight, I was at the casino with my friends. I have the Bellator screen pulled up on my phone, and I hit the deck. I flat backed myself at the casino in absolute joy and just pure exhilaration. It was a wonderful, wonderful win, and it showed the world what I already know about you. You got heart for days. You could go all night, and you're a hell of a damn person and a hell of a damn competitor. So, my man, truly appreciate you coming on the show and dropping some more knowledge for the people. I don't know that we have odds yet for the show, but when the odds come out, you know that I'll be dropping some information on your guys' head top. But my man, Blake, he's already been dropping that information. We appreciate you coming on, my man. Could you let the people know where they could find you? I did include a link to your social media below. But also just anybody you want to shout out. I know that your team was very influential in your win as well. So anything that you want to get off your chest, my man, please let the people know.
Of course. Thank you very much, by the way. First and foremost, I want to shout out you, man. I appreciate you, like I said, giving me the platform again, and it really means a lot. I know it's enjoyable for you, and it's your passion. However, it really does help a lot, man. And I freaking miss you, to be honest. You know, it's nice just to talk to you. So I'm glad to see you're doing good. And then I'd like to, of course, shout out my team, Coach Sonny, Terrence, Caesar, Amini, Drew. I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch of people, but everyone that just helps me every day. You guys know who you are. I appreciate all you guys. And yeah, then the obvious, you know, my girlfriend Selena. My mom is coming out, my dad, a whole bunch of people flying out, my uncle, my cousin Anthony, who signed with West Liberty to wrestle. He's about to start his
career, let's go.
Yeah. So that's pretty dope. But yeah, I think that's about it, man. everyone, my cousin, my brother, all you guys. It's just, I appreciate everyone. And of course, got to throw a shout out to BW Wrestling. As always, man, there we go. Jefferson Falcons. And that's about it. That's all I got.
My man, I love it. I'm over here pulling up the information to make sure I can tell the people to watch Urijah Faber's A1 Combat 4 in Stockton, California. It's starting at 2 p.m. in the East, only on Fight Pass. It is on Sunday, guys. So I know that after church, you're looking for something to do. You're saying, hey, what do I do at 2 p.m. Eastern on a Sunday? You watch my man Blake Perry on Urijah Faber's A1 Combat. I hope that you guys choose to do so. I know what I'm doing on Sunday. So God bless you all. Enjoy those fights. Big shout out to my man Blake Perry, and best of luck from everybody here at Liam Picks Fights, all the people in the chat, and myself. Brother, you know that we're rooting for you always, and we can't wait to have you back on. Victory or defeat, you are always welcome, my friend, but we know that you're going to bring another one home for the people. God bless, my man. Thank you, Blake.
You too, brother. Thank you.
Have a good one, boss. Take care, everybody.